Hey guys, it's Brad and the Buff. I got my buff in my head and I'm ready to go. I am in my car getting ready to do a section hike of the Appalachian Trail. I wanted to get it out there real quick today while it was fresh, so I'm probably not going to do my typical editing and intro. This will probably be it. But I just wanted to do a quick video while I was excited and I had things fresh in my head and some of the stuff I do to prep myself for the trail. So the first thing you do, obviously you got to pick a trip, which means you got to get your maps out, you got to know what you're doing, you got to know where you're going, and you got to have everything set up. Your drop off, if it's not a loop route, you got to have your drop off car set up, what time you're going to meet, how you're going to get there, how long it's going to take you to get there. So those kind of details. Then after that, I typically do my food shopping. So I make up my list and I go through every meal in my head that I'm going to have and the snacks I want to have with me. Then I zip over to the store, I grab what I need. I'd have a whole video on my typical food list if you guys are looking for that. But I get my food, I separate into baggies for whoever's come with me. In this case, there's just one other person coming with me. A person I've typically done about a quarter of the Appalachian Trail with in section hikes. And so I separate out the food, I count it all, make sure I have what I need. Then I get my gear out and I go through it all and I think about what is the weather? How much weight do I want to carry per the miles? What conditions is it going to be in? Is it going to be rainy? Do I need gloves? Do I not need gloves? Right now we're kind of in this in-between stage, so I'm bringing some warmer gear, but not a ton of warmer gear. So I'm going to be thinking about that. And then I also go through in my day how the day is going to go to make sure I didn't forget anything. Now on this trip, we're staying in shelters, hopefully, but they're not always open. So I always bring a tent just because I'm section hiking. But because I was going through my mental list going, okay, we get up in the morning, I need to cook this, so I need to make sure I got do I have my cooking gear? Do I have my cup? Do I have my bowl? Because I'm going to be eating. I have my backpack. I slept the night before. I have my sleeping bag. I have my sleeping system. I almost forgot my tent until I went, and then when we go to sleep and we're in the shelter, what if the shelter's not available? Oh shoot, I didn't grab my tent. So I go through how my days are going to go to make sure I don't forget things. You know, I need water filter. Where am I getting water at? So I basically go through the trip in my head to make sure I have everything. I get all my gear up. I have all my food. I'm ready to go. I have everything picked out specific for the trip that I'm doing with weight and warm weather versus cold weather gear, my clothes, what am I going to wear through each day. Then I hit the road and we get down, we make sure everything is set up on our bags and we are good to go for an awesome trip to get away from it all. This weekend I happen to be doing a section of the Appalachian Trail. I think we're doing a 7-miler, a 21-miler, and a 4-mile. I got to get out early on Sunday because I got to get back to my house for an event later that day. So that's kind of my trip setup and all of that is in my head for how I set up my trips, but I wanted to give you guys kind of the steps that goes through and how you create a trip and kind of the proper way to think about things so you don't forget gear. And like I said, I go through basically, you know, I think about the situation, plus I think about how the day is going to go and what I'm going to need for that day as I'm doing. Hey, if I sit down for lunch, do I have my long spoon? Yes, I do. Okay, so anyways, that's how I set up my trips. I'll see you guys. I got some great videos coming out for actual trips the next 2 weeks. I've done trips for the last 2 weekends. I didn't have a chance to edit the one from last weekend. I went out with my son and some of his friends, but I'll get that out next week, and this one will be coming shortly after. See you guys later.